Hi, this is Ed Pullen, and I'm your host on Bird Banter. Bird Banter is a podcast by birders who talk about birding and have fun together. I'm hoping that you'll enjoy this. Birders go places where most people have never gone, see things most people have never seen, and have experiences that lead to stories that I find interesting, and I hope you will too. So I'm Dr. Ed Pullen, and I'll be your host on Bird Banter. Today, I'm going to briefly tell you my birding story. And on future episodes, I'll be talking about birding with other birders and learning their stories and hopefully having fun with you all. Although I still work on a very limited basis as a family physician, I'm mostly retired. I work 2 or 3 days a month as a fill-in, and so I have lots of time to bird now. Sometimes I just go locally, walking from my condo to the Tacoma waterfront. Other times I travel locally or even regionally, and sometimes I take big birding trips. But wherever I go, you'll usually see me with my binos, usually a spotting scope and a camera. One regret I have in life is that I didn't start birding until I was 30. As a kid, I grew up in fairly rural Maine, enjoyed fishing, I did a little hunting. I spent a lot of time outdoors, but didn't even really know that bird watching was something that people did. My conception of bird watching was a classic Jane Hathaway on the Beverly Hillbillies, a goofy, prudish woman in khaki clothes with binos around her neck, and everybody made fun of her. That all changed on a trip to southern Florida in 1986. I was married to Kay, and on our way from Key West to visit my family on the Gulf Coast of Florida, we were driving by the Everglades, and Kay said, "Can we go to the Everglades?" And I thought, well, I guess so. I don't really know what's there that would be all that interesting, but we can check it out. And Kay said, well, I'm a bird watcher. I said, a what? She said, yeah, I'm a birder. And I said, okay, I never heard of this. We've been married a couple of years, and I didn't know anything about it, but so be it. So we stopped at the ranger station on the way into the Everglades, and Kay asked if they knew where she could see a pileated woodpecker as a species she had not seen and was really anxious to find. Well, they said, you didn't hear them on the way in? And so we went out in the parking lot, and sure enough, there are pileated woodpeckers just hammering away on the palm trees in the parking lot, just big chunks of palm tree flying every which way. And I thought, wow, those are cool. They look like Woody the Woodpecker, and they're great big birds and really fun. So we watched them for a little bit, and Kay described the field marks, and we looked in her white hardcover golden guide that she carried and shared her 735 Bushnell binos and got a good look at them, and I thought that was fun. So we went back into the ranger station and bought me a field guide. I got a 4th edition of the Roger Torrey Peterson Field Guide to Birds East of the Rockies. It was the first edition that had color pictures and the description on the page opposite the color plates, and it was a really nice field guide. And I used that for the next 2 days as we toured through the Everglades. Our first stop in the Everglades was at Anhinga Way. It's just a little ways into the park and has an extensive boardwalk system. Now it's been destroyed by the hurricanes, but at that time had an extensive boardwalk system that ended overlooking a marshy area that was the poster for long-legged waders. There were snowy egrets and great egrets and great blue herons and white morphs of great blue herons and little blue herons and tricolored herons and just lots of big birds to look at. They were colorful and just amazing. And I thought that was really cool. And then we saw a purple gallinule on the way out, and I was hooked. So we spent the next 2 days. We saw bald eagles and swallowtail kites and roseate spoonbills and just incredible birds. And from there, I just was off and flying. We went home, which at the time was West Point, New York, where I was stationed as an officer and a physician. And in my spare time, I birded. Read my field guides, went looking for warblers and thrushes and vireos and birds that seemed just about impossible to identify, but I worked at it and figured them out. Kay was excited about teaching me, and we had a lot of fun together. We had a baby shortly after that, and I got out of the Army, and we moved to Puyallup, Washington. We both had jobs lined up, and I went with Kay across the country from one beautiful breastfeeding stop to the next. We saw incredible birds and in beautiful places and saw parts of the country I never knew existed. We went to Devil's Tower, where I saw a western tanager. I was just in awe. We went to Yellowstone, where besides seeing bison and lots of animals, we saw trumpeter swans on the river and sandhill cranes distantly in the field. By that time, we had a Bushnell Spacemaster spotting scope and got to see them and wondered why they weren't gray, why they were all reddish colored, and did our research and figured out that they used clay as makeup in the breeding season to color themselves. And got to the West Coast, where I went to work and we were busy with parenting and working and everything else, but still found time to bird. I took a birding class at Tahoma Audubon, where my future best birding buddy, Ken Brown, was the teacher, and he was a fabulous mentor and terrific teacher and really introduced me to a whole different concept of what birding was all about. We traveled together, saw birds all over the country, went on many terrific trips locally and regionally, and I birded all through my physician career. In the last 2 years, I've been working much, much less. I've mostly retired, and 10 months ago, Kay passed away of ovarian cancer, and since that time, I've been birding even more. I am really excited about the opportunity to share my experiences and the experiences of other birding friends with you here on Bird Banter. I'm hoping that you'll enjoy hearing stories from birders. I hope they'll be informative and educational, but mostly fun. I hope you'll come back to listen for future podcasts from Bird Banter. You can see social media contacts for me below, but mostly you'll see me at birdbanter.chat. And you can follow Bird Banter on any of the normal ways to follow a podcast, iTunes, Google Play, and other places. So looking forward to seeing you again. Until next time, good birding and have fun.